You know how to work for money, but unless you understand how to earn money, you are doing yourself and your family a huge disservice. If you make $20 an hour times 40 hours before taxes, you make $800 a week. But to earn money, which is done through sales and marketing, you, number one, have to know how much you make per sale. Number two, what you have to do in order to make that sale. And number three, at that point, you know what you have to do in order to reach your income goal. This is called the mathematical formula to writing your own check, or the knowledge of the 1%. Billy Beane of the Oakland A's, with the help of Peter Brandt, an economist, used this formula to evaluate players and went from one of the worst teams in the league to almost winning the World Series. The Oakland A's won the same amount of games that year as the New York Yankees. However, the New York Yankees spent $1.4 million to win a game, and Oakland only spent $260,000 per win. The following year, the Boston Red Sox used this formula to break an 86-year-old losing streak known as the Curse of the Bambino and winning the World Series. In the midst of the 1929 Great Depression, where the rich became broke overnight, where people were jumping out of skyscrapers and eating out of trash cans, W. Clement Stone used this formula to make $1 million a year during the worst economic times in U.S. history so far. I don't want you to get caught up in how you're going to do this. I only want you to pay attention to the math at this point. People get so caught up in the products, but the product is irrelevant, because even if you don't have a product, once you know the math, you can find the right product at the right price to reach your income goal. Now we're going to start out by writing out your income goal. Now we're going to use the example of $100,000. Now some of you might have bigger income goals than that. Some of you might have smaller income goals. But we're going to use the example of $100,000. Next, we need to know how much profit you make per sale. Now, again, some of you might not even have a product at this point, but we're going to use the example of $500 per sale. So we want to divide your income goal, in this example, which is $100,000, and divide that by the profit you make per sale, which is $500, which means that you will need 200 sales in order to reach your income goal. Now, next, you need to know, what is your closing ratio? What is your closing percentage? In other words, how many people do you need to expose your marketing message to make a sale? Now, some people believe that making a sale is unpredictable. It's all left up to chance. However, with some basic understanding of quantum mechanics, you will know exactly what you have to do in order to reach your income goal. Now, one of the basic laws of quantum mechanics is, once you do something often enough, an average starts to appear. Grant Cardone, Jordan Belfort, and Chet Holmes International are just a couple of experts that teach you how to make sales over the phone. So, if you make 100 sales presentations and close 10 sales, you have a 10% closing ratio. Now, this is known as a starting ratio because there are a number of factors that affect sales, from the words we use, our voice tone, and our body language. However, if we continue to give the same sales presentation, you will continue to close 10%. So, if we take our profit per sale, which in this example is $500, times your closing ratio at 10%, which equals the number of people that we have to expose to your marketing message, which in this example is 2,000 people. Now, according to InsideSales.com, that absolutely worst case scenario, if you use the telephone as your marketing tool, you should close 10% of your sales calls. So, you take your 200 sales times a 10% closing ratio equals 2,000 leads. Now, you will need 2,000 leads or interested prospects to hit your target of $100,000. The more you develop your skill and learning new techniques from books and courses, you will start to make small tweaks to your sales presentations. However, people put too much emphasis on skill because you're not going to go from closing 10% to closing 90% of your sales. So in the beginning, when you're building your income, you should put more effort into developing your work ethic. Because even if someone is closing 20% of sales, but you're making 300 phone calls a day, you will still out-earn someone who is closing 20% but only making 100 phone calls. Not all marketing is created equal. Some marketing methods will not get you the results that you could have gotten by using another marketing method. In other words, some people prefer more aggressive marketing methods because they value results over comfort, where others use more conservative methods like the internet because they value comfort over the effectiveness of a method. I love the internet. However, most people try to make money hiding behind their computer. Business has always been about relationships, whether you do that in person, over the phone, or on the internet. There is more than one way to make a sale. In 1929, the rich became broke overnight and sought out the advice of W. Clement Stone on how he was not only able to survive, but thrive during the worst economic time in U.S. history. 80 years later, in 2009, the Great Recession, the rich became broke overnight once again. Mark Yarnell took what he learned from W. Clement Stone and expounded upon it, and built a $350,000 per month income by working an average of 2 hours a day. Again, most companies go after one customer at a time. However, we use group marketing where we land a deal where that one customer may refer us to hundreds, thousands, or depending on the size of the deal, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of customers. Mark Yarnell took what he learned from W. Clement Stone and expounded upon it and said, when you build a team of 100 people who all sell the same products, you will at worst case scenario make a 6-figure per month income. We do this by using group marketing. Now, Mark Ruoff, who I met for a business dinner in Beverly Hills, shared with me that he built a team of 87 people before he was earning a 6-figure per month income. Dr. David Peach, a chiropractor, built a team of 82 people before he was making $1 million a year income. Now, if you're one of those people who wants to hide behind their computer, it will take 1,000 people to get the same results that you could get with only 100. However, if you use the internet the way it was meant to be used, as a communication tool, and you use it to send messages, you will only need 100 people. So we have a 6-figure per month income goal. Now, according to Mark's formula, we need 100 sales, right? So 300 phone calls at a 10% closing ratio equals 30 interested prospects per day. Times that by a 25-day month equals 600 leads or interested prospects. And with a 10% closing ratio, that equals 60 deals. Now, even though you have a team of 100 partners, this does not mean that all 100 will do the work. There's a large portion of gym memberships that never get used. The demographics breaks down as this: 1/3 will do nothing, 1/3 will do a little bit, 1/3 will do a little bit more. However, the industry standard shows between 1 in 20 to 1 in 30 will become a 6-figure income earner. So out of 100 partners, you have 5 top producers that will bring you a 6-figure per month income. Now, depending at which level you signed up at, we will go more in depth into this in our program, The Knowledge of the 1%, where we will look at the economics of specific marketing methods, including direct mail, email, social media, and help you to understand the science behind how and why this works.